All right, Hillary and Bill Clinton have made more than $30 million since January of last year. $30 million. That's according to a financial disclosure form provided to CNN, and more than $25 million of that came from paid speeches made by both Clintons. Mrs. Clinton also has made more than $5 million from her book, Hard Choices. So let's talk about the money. Let's get into it with CNN political commentator and Democratic strategist Maria Cardona. Also with us, Republican strategist Lisa Booth. And Maria, I want to start with you. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I remember back to, 2012, and the argument that was made against Mitt Romney. Does Hillary Clinton have a Mitt Romney problem? Would this have been okay if we were talking about Mitt Romney then?
Oh, my goodness. No, Victor, and I'm glad you brought that up, because let's make one thing very clear here. Americans, including Democrats, have never begrudged other people making a lot of money. And I even said this when I was talking about Mitt Romney. It wasn't the fact that he made a lot of money. It was, for him, it was two things. How he made the money, by closing factories, breaking down companies, and putting people out of work. And the second one is, what were the policies that he was advocating if he were to become president? And that is still a huge problem for Republicans. You can't point to one single policy, Victor, today or frankly in the past that Republican nominees or people that have led the Republican Party have advocated for that will level the playing field for struggling Americans, working class families, and middle class families the same way that Democrats have, including Bill Clinton, who frankly raised taxes on millionaires and billionaires and the biggest corporations in this country, and that's how he balanced the budget when he was in office. And President Obama has advocated the same policies, and Hillary Clinton will advocate the same policies. Add to that the fact that Republicans now want to talk about income inequality when they still can't even support minimum wage increases or equal pay for equal work for women. And it's laughable that this would even be an issue for Hillary Clinton, who is going to be the one that will be fighting for middle class and working class Americans.
All right, Lisa, so let's talk about it. I mean, Americans are aspirational. Everybody likes to believe or plans for a future where they'll live better than they do at the moment. What's wrong with Mrs. Clinton living well?
It's not the wealth that's problematic for Hillary Clinton. It's the hypocrisy on the issue that is the problem. You know, Hillary Clinton is someone who has called for toppling the 1%, but she's part of the 1%. She's criticized the pay disparity between CEOs and workers, but she has no problem taking their money or making over $300,000 per speech. And quite frankly, it's no wonder that the top 1% like Hillary Clinton so much. According to a CNBC poll, 53% of millionaires would vote for Hillary Clinton because she knows she has their best interest at heart. But look, she does have a Mitt Romney problem, but it's more on the lines of the fact that she is seemingly very out of touch. This is someone who said that we are dead broke despite the fact that she had an $8 million advance on a book deal upon leaving the White House. This is someone who said she's not like the truly well off despite amassing an over $100 million fortune. So it's not the wealth that is problematic for Hillary Clinton, it's the hypocrisy.
All right, let me get to Jeb Bush because I want to talk about the obviously rough week he's had in answering the question if he would have made the decision to go into Iraq. The question was initially asked as knowing what we know now, but let's listen to the iterations of the answer over the week.
I would have, and so Hillary Clinton, just to remind everybody.
In 2020 hindsight, you would make a different decision.
Yeah, I don't know what that decision would have been. That's a hypothetical, but the simple fact is mistakes were made, as they always are in life.
Given the power of looking back and having that, of course, anybody would have made different decisions. We're all supposed to answer hypothetical questions. Knowing what we know now, what would you have done? I would have not engaged. I would not have gone into Iraq.
Lisa, if the campaign had to anticipate one question going into this cycle, it would be that question. How could he have not had an answer that was clear and concise and something that was understandable from the moment he said it?
Well, Victor, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is the one policy question that he should have absolutely anticipated. And I think it's problematic that he didn't. I think that's why you also saw other candidates like Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz quickly distance themselves from Jeb Bush's original answer. But what I become increasingly frustrated is the fact that Hillary Clinton continues to get a free pass on the policy issues. She's refused to take stances on big issues like trade, which is before Congress right now. She's also flip-flopped on issues like Iraq, immigration, gay marriage, and criminal justice. And quite frankly, what I think that the media should be talking about, what people should be questioning her on, is her cheerleading in defense of President Obama withdrawing troops from Iraq.
To question Hillary Clinton about those items, and we will. But this portion of the segment was about Jeb Bush. Maria, Jeb Bush and this stumbling over this answer, is it opening the door to Walker, to Rubio, to Cruz? Or is he so far ahead in fundraising that this isn't going to be big of a problem?
Of course it opens the door, Victor, for all of those other opponents. And frankly, this puts a new light on the notion of being between a rock and a hard place. And I think that, I actually feel bad for him because he clearly said that he doesn't want to criticize his brother or his father. But the fact of the matter is that, this is the third time already that we have seen him either waffle or tell us that the first one was he has advisors that were the same ones as his brother has. The second one was when he said to a group of donors that he listens to his brother as his biggest advisor on the Middle East, both of which are very problematic, not just for the majority of the American people who know that going into Iraq was a complete and utter disaster.
Which Hillary voted for.
Yes, and Hillary apologized for it, by the way, so that's why she hasn't been hit on it. But Jeb Bush has not been able to do that.
All right.
And so, again, this is the third part of a foreign policy recipe disaster that the American people want no part of, and it's going to be a huge problem for him.
Maria, thank you so much. Lisa, thank you, too. We've got a required break.